got to become
perfect. We are called to be I've been thinking about this lately, that we are, Jesus said, be perfect as your heavenly Father is perfect.
Yeah, but we can't.
I think you can.
No.
You can. That's kind of the goal.
Hold on. Time out. We can't be perfect.
Well,
though.
the Lord of the Rings, the end premise is that no. And I think traditionally...
Oh, that's right. That's my whole point.
Yeah, traditionally, I understand we're still...
We're
still vulnerable to falling, obviously. That's always a reality in this world. But I think you can get really close. And I think that's what the saints do.
You can get really close, of course. And I don't think there's any denial of that. And I think you should still shoot for the moon. And even if you miss, you'll land among the stars. Like, like there's some cliche ways of saying that, yes, you know, you're not going to be perfect, but you should still always seek perfection. We are called and we are made in his image. And like, but we can't because we're fallen creatures.
Because why else would Jesus say, be perfect as your heavenly Father is perfect?
Yeah, is he not just setting us up for failure?
No, I think we are. That's what I'm saying. We are called to be perfect in this life. And
okay,
not
so then
saying,
we're not necessarily in agreement because I'm not sure.
But I'm not saying you wouldn't be vulnerable. Even like whenever I think Saint Francis of Assisi would give sermons, before he began every sermon, he was a saint that he got the stigmata. He was a mystic and
pretty good guy,
to say the least.
Some would say.
Yeah, he was up there, and he would say before he would like do a confession. Before in front of everyone, he would confess his sins before he began a sermon. And he would say, "Do not." Basically, he didn't want people to idolize, to see him as more perfect than he was. So I think he would often say, "Do not." The word wasn't idolize, but like, do not look up to me in this way. Like, do not idolize me, for I may still become a father or something, bear a son. Or something like that.
Yeah.
And
that's bold.
So that kind of goes away against what I'm saying. But I think that's just from his humility and his understanding.
Isn't it so annoying when people are so... not in that sense, but like when we were doing Exodus 90 and we're over here struggling with everything and someone's like, oh, I struggled with looking at emails a little bit too long.
Yeah.
Or... I missed my nightly examen one time this week. And I'm over here struggling with half the things on Exodus 90 and I can't get off YouTube.
It's like the kid that gets a 97.
And it's complaining to us and we got like a 70.
I can't believe this. Yeah. But that you become more sensitive to your faults, the more... I think they actually mean it. They're not trying to be like...
I think that's true.
And they're genuinely just frustrated with where they do
lack of perfection.
Yeah.
I think... I don't mean to say that Jesus was setting us up for failure by saying that. I think you're right that we should be perfect as his Father is. But... I guess maybe I am saying that he's setting us up for failure. We can't.
I think there's saints who basically were.
Well,
I think
only Mary was the only human that was sinless.
No, I mean, you can venially sin. There's saints that never, like by the end of their lives, they weren't even venially sinning. I think that's the goal for everyone.
Oh, then it's original sin that she was,
yes,
that she avoided. But I guess in that sense, we're never perfect because we still have original sin. I don't know enough theology to be able to...
Well, no, that's why you're baptized and then you're cleansed from your original sin, but you still deal with the ramifications of it.
But was Mary tempted?
No, Mary was conceived without original sin. I guess that's a good question.
No, I guess she was tempted, but she had enough grace.
Yeah, she was full of grace.
Right, we don't know enough.
You're sounding really ignorant right now.
No. The people can understand that we are just two fools trying to understand things, and we're not theologians. We're just two college students two people that studied engineering and finance and entrepreneurship, and we're now trying to get the education that we thought we should have gotten in college. But we don't know this. We don't know this. It's okay. I was getting something with Mary. Oh, but no, okay. I don't think we can be perfect. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
So the thing is, I've been telling you to listen to Father Ripperger.
And I will.
He talks about this.
Okay, I'll listen.
That's where I'm kind of getting this.
Okay, we can stop the conversation about this and pick it up later on perfection because I want to listen to it. And I'm sure that we're going to be running around in circles.
Mm-hmm. But he says you should get to the point where you stop even venially sinning. That's the goal.
I agree that we should. I just don't know that it's possible.
He says it's meant to be that way. That's what you should.
I agree. But like before the fall of Eden.
What I'm saying is... What?
Before the fall of Adam?
No. Forget right now, you. If you practice virtue enough and you pray enough and you become in a closer union with God, and you become Him to the point where you're just going to progress in the spiritual life so much that
you can avoid sinning.
Try
fully.
to become perfect. Yeah.
Okay. Look, my instinct would tell me like that's not possible because of like how weak we feel, you know.
Yeah. Well, no. Yeah. Of course, I'm not.
No, but what you're trying to say is like me, I can be perfect.
Yes.
And I don't believe, like, it's hard for someone to believe that. Like, you know yourself, you know? But it's very nice to hear. And maybe I can come to believe that, you know?
Yeah.
Because that's what we're called to. And I do believe that. I believe we are called towards perfection. I just don't believe that it's attainable. Mm-hmm. But maybe it is, and I just don't know.
So anyone that goes straight to heaven is... way.
Not necessarily.
You don't have to be purged from anything.
No, I know. And I guess you're saying that they could, like, the goal or what you're saying is possible is to be perfect at any point in your life, not throughout your whole life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Then
that's what I'm saying.
If you die when you're perfect, you go straight to heaven. Mm-hmm. I guess I believe that there's some people that go straight to heaven.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never thought about this.
They can't have anything. They can't have.
Also, I don't know how people get away from the concept of purgatory. It seems very intuitive to me. And I guess it's only Catholics that
get into this.
No, we don't have to get into it.
Yeah.
I just
it just
like, so if we're going to heaven, it means that we're with God united fully, like cleansed,
spotless.
Spotless. Mm-hmm. But we don't die spotless ever.
No,
I mean, you're saying that we could.
I mean, not. Yeah, okay, yeah. I just
I know, but I get what you're saying. So yeah, purgatory seems like obvious, duh. Maybe not. I don't know. We don't have to get into it. I don't know enough.
I don't know enough either, but I know C.S. Lewis as well believed in purgatory.
Yeah, he was a Christian.
He was a Protestant, evangelical. He
was
Anglican.
You got to read his book on is it the Great Divorce?
Yeah.
Yeah, really. I read it in high school. I don't remember it enough.
We can do a video on it.
We should. That was a really short book that we could get in a week.
Yeah.
Like we could read that in a week and analyze. Oh, that'd be really cool. We should put that soon. Yeah, let's add it.